Let's take a closer look at the Micro Galaxy Squadron Series 5 B-Wing Starfighter.
Varykino, living the Star Wars life.
Hello there, and thanks for visiting the Varykino YouTube channel. Today I'm going to be unboxing and taking a closer look at the Micro Galaxy Squadron B-Wing Starfighter. I'm really excited about this one. This is from Series 5 from the line from Jazware, which has just in the last week shown up here on store shelves in New Zealand. We did a bit of a hunt because we wanted to try and find as many from the wave as we could, and lo and behold we found 4 chase vehicles, which was super exciting. So if you check out our other videos, and I'll have it linked down below as well, we just unboxed the hologram Luke Skywalker X-Wing, which was so cool. I really enjoyed unboxing that one, and we will also have the other 3 chases that we found unboxed here on our channel very soon. So do subscribe if you are keen to check those ones out. So let's take a look at the B-Wing Starfighter packaging before I open it up. We can see by the little picture here that the vehicle is actually longer than what it appears here in the packaging, and that is because there's going to be a little bit of assembly. You can see a slot here and there's sort of an extra bit here, so I'm really keen to get it fully assembled because it's kind of not really, just doesn't display quite as well as some of the other vehicles that are just all one and done. There are some of the other vehicles like the Imperial Shuttle that just look cooler when you get them all assembled and on display, so very keen to see how well it looks to that little image there. This vehicle comes with one little minifigure of a B-Wing pilot. We can see in the little capsule there, and we've got that silver stripe logo here, B-Wing Starfighter with the number 0106, getting deep into the numbering there. And of course, because the B-Wing appears in Return of the Jedi, we have the 40th Return of the Jedi sticker on here, which is kind of fun. I do like the foil stickers that Jazware uses for this line. Of course, it's always exciting to find that chase one, but a little bit of extra bling is always fun there as well. So that's cool. So that is the front of the packaging. We can see a little bit of a Death Star 2 scene in the background with some X-Wings, and we've got an A-Wing in there. I don't actually see a B-Wing from this angle looking at the backing card, but we can see we have Death Star 2 in the background, so it is a Return of the Jedi Death Star scene. Very cool. Moving on to the back. So we can see some of the features that we can expect when we get it all assembled. We also have a collectible blueprint, which you can cut out and keep if you don't keep your packaging. I tend to keep all my boxes, so I don't cut mine out, but that's a fun little addition there if you want to dispose of all the packaging. So we have a little image here of the full B-Wing. We have a 360-degree rotating cockpit, which should be able to fit the minifigure inside. We can see the diagram here shows the sort of attachment point there to be able to attach the extension bit there to the main body, hoping that goes on quite easily. Sometimes these things are a little bit of a tight fit. We have some landing gear, and we have those side wings that should be able to move and fold in there, which, yeah, very keen to check out all of these features. And of course, we have here some of the other vehicles in the line. We have Poe Dameron's X-Wing, we have a Special Forces TIE Fighter, and then these are the chase vehicles in this particular Starfighter class. We have the V-Wing and the hologram of Luke's X-Wing there. So I've unboxed that one, got that one. I'm going to be unboxing that one very soon. Very excited about that one. So yeah, as it says, collect them all. We are certainly trying to. So that's a lot of fun features to check out. So that is the packaging for the B-Wing Starfighter. Let's go ahead and get that all open so we can start assembling. So now I have all of the pieces out of the packaging. They came out reasonably well, and we can see we've got one big peg and a slot here on this piece to assemble them. So there's only one step here, but first, before I get that all built up, I'm going to take a closer look at the included minifigure. We can see it is labeled as B-Wing Pilot, and on the back we have a cool little blueprint image there of the figure inside, slightly larger than life size compared to the figure, which is a fun way to sort of see all those costume details because these are quite small figures. So let's pop them out and we can take a closer look at the details. So some of these are painted better than others, but they are pretty small. So I do give them a lot of credit for including as much detail as they can, because these are really just going to disappear inside my cockpit there. So I'm not really going to see him much beyond this. But yes, we can see he's got his B-Wing helmet, orange flight suit here, and some of the other costume details are painted on there. The heads on these figures don't move. I'd be worried about snapping them off, but their arms do move up. And they can also sit so that we can put them into that pilot cockpit position there. So I'm going to be testing him in the cockpit in a little bit, but I'm just going to pop him off to the side because I want to get this whole starship assembled. So with items like these, I figure that sometimes you can sort of like disassemble them. This one looks pretty hefty. I think this is going to be a one-way trip when I assemble this, and I'm really hoping it's not going to be too hard. If I have to really wrestle with it, I might take a break and make sure that I've got that all assembled. So let's see how well this is going to go together. Let's see how much force it's going to take to snap this in together. Okay, let's go. Okay, wow, I finally have that attached. That took a lot of effort, and I don't know if that's just mine. I know sometimes with plastic pegs, all it takes is just a mil or two extra plastic for it to be a really tight fit, but that took a lot of effort, and that is on there solidly. It is not coming apart again, but it's all together now, which I'm just really thankful for. So we can take a closer look at the fully assembled starship. So of course, one of the signature features of the B-Wing is going to be the wings. So now it's looking a lot more cooler all assembled as opposed to those sort of folded up pieces on the desk there. And this looks really cool. And I know I say this in just about all of my Micro Galaxy Squadron unboxings. I wish they included stands. This would just look so much cooler out like this, because there are landing gear on the underside. So it's going to be all folded up on my shelf like this with its landing gear, unless I decide to get out the fishing line and try and suspend it, because this just looks cool. And it's kind of a shame that it doesn't come in the box like this, because I know that takes up just so much dead air around this long extended point here, but still, that would just look cool. And I'm just super excited by this one. So let's take a closer look at some of the paintwork, the washing, and the details. I'm just having so much fun with those wings there. So we can see we've got sort of like a washed out sort of white, very pale gray for most of the body, with some dark gray accents here. That's nice and tidy. When it comes to some of the washes from the Micro Galaxy Squadron line, some are heavier, some tend to pull in some places. So if you are fortunate enough to spot a couple of these on your store shelves, you can look over. This one just has some really minimal washing here. We can see that there is a little bit more of a smudge here, but this wing section was kind of hidden in the box. I couldn't see that very well. We can see we've got a little bit here around on the cockpit section. It's kind of dirty sort of washing around here, which I quite like here. Overall, I don't see any kind of major spots that are really going to bug me. We've got maybe a little bit here, and that's possibly a little bit of paint, I think, more than washing. I think that's a little bit of a smudge of paint. But this is going to be on the underside. It's not going to display when I have it down like that. And if I had it up, I can just put it like that, point it more towards that way. So that little bit of paint is hidden. But yes, it's a little bit of a shame, but it kind of, at least it's a dark color and it kind of goes in with the washing there. So we've got these sort of fun orange spots, which have a subtle weathering to them as well. They are not a solid paintwork. You can kind of see that they look scratched and weathered, which is a good fit. And we've got a little one up here as well. So yeah, some cool, and we've got sort of more of that same gray color accenting around here. The cannons are made out of a separate gray plastic. They're not painted and sort of assembled in. So they're not removable. They don't move. Oh, actually, that's actually quite bendy. I was not expecting that. That's actually a lot more bendy than I was expecting. Wow, okay. This one doesn't bend quite as much. That one's very bendy. This one has a little bit of bend to it. So yeah, you're gonna have to be a little bit wary of those because those flex a lot. This one, not so much. That one's a lot thicker and sturdier, but yes, those ones are just a little bit, I guess, prone to bending, so I guess you're not gonna put it down like that. Okay, so I can see the landing gear. So let's see how easily we can open these up. So I'm just gonna try and flick this one with my thumb. Okay, we've got, that's quite stiff. There we go, all the way up. And then the other one is down here. I'm just going to move the wings out of the way so I can get into here. Let's see if I can get that one with my thumb. There we go. So if I fold the wings back down, we can get into sort of a landed position there, which does look cool, I admit, but I just like the way that it's in a sort of a flying mode. We don't really see them landed much in the films. We see them flying predominantly, so yeah. Oh, and the landing gear actually, you can sort of see it kind of opens up that orange spot. So it's got orange on the landing gear, and the other one is just a gray plastic. One of the fun things I think about the Micro Galaxy Squadron line is that even when you open up compartments, there's sculpting on the inside. I don't know if the camera's going to show that, but it's like got sort of like internal workings and things like that, all sculpted up underneath sections that you're almost never going to see because you're going to have it down like that. That's just a fun detail. I like all of that surface detail, you know, all the little wires and lines and things like that all over it. And it's really fun if the vehicle has washing because it really highlights all of that detail. Yeah, and then on the back, we have the yellow engines. I've got just a tiny bit of sort of an extra little splodge of yellow in there, kind of minimal. And I have seen some people, I saw someone had repainted their engines to be red because they do appear a little bit more red on some scenes. But yes, I don't mind the yellow. It's just that little bit of extra there. It's not too bad. And I'm not going to display it facing this way on my shelf, but yes, we all want tidy paint jobs on our Star Wars collectibles. It's always a little bit of a shame when there's just like that tiny little splodge, and then I've got that bit there, but it's not a deal breaker for me. I've seen worse. Okay, so we've got those details, and then I know I've still got the landing gear out, but I love the way that it looks when it's got its wings out. That's so cool. So of course, as you can see, we've got the cockpit, and it needs to be, you know, the right orientation if we're going to put it in flight mode. So let's see how easily this cockpit rotates, because it said it would turn 360. So, okay, there's a little bit of a click to it, but I can get it all the way around. There we go. It kind of wants to hit certain points. So yes, there we have it in full correct orientation for flight mode if it's going to be flying like this, so that the pilot is in the direct line. That looks cool. And so if we were going to land it, we can rotate that round so it's now flat and even. That's cool. Okay, so I guess next up, let's get the pilot in there and see how well he looks. I can see this is a slightly more sort of tinted cockpit. Some of them are a little bit clearer, so it's going to be interesting to see if I can actually see him in there. Okay, let's see. There's a little bit of a notch at the side here. Okay, get that open, and we can see inside. You can see the color of the canopy with that sort of darker translucent plastic there, and inside we have a gray cockpit insert. There's a lot of detail in here, which I like. It doesn't look painted. That looks like a dark gray piece there. No sort of details, and they don't really do stickers in this small line, but that's enough detail there. So let's see how well our little pilot is going to fit in here. I'm hoping he'll just fit in there quite well. Yay! He sits in there really fun. Okay, so if I just turn this around so I can show how he sits in that cockpit there. That looks really nice. He fits in there really well. Most of the vehicles, they do fit in there. There's a couple where I kind of had to lie them down a little bit so I could close the cockpit because I was going to hit their helmets, or some of those ones with like little seats. Oh golly, those little clips around their legs, they really make me anxious. It's hard to get those figures in and out, but that was a nice easy one. So let's close the cockpit up. Yeah, I can actually see him fairly well through there. I can, you know, the orange certainly helps. I'm hoping the camera can see, but yes, I can see the little figure inside, which I think looks really cool. And that's basically the main reason for including little figures for these, is to be able to put them in the cockpit so that these look all complete. That's really nice. Okay, that's so cool. Okay, I'm gonna put those wings out. I know the landing gear is still up, but I'll tip it to the side. And of course, then we now need to get him all rotated around. There we go. Oh, I need to get a stand for this one, don't I? That just looks so cool in flight mode. And it actually takes up a lot more space. That's so cool. So if I'm going to put the wings down, we'll get that one rotated back. And that is essentially how it's going to look on my shelf for now, until I can get some fishing line, because this one deserves to be in flight mode. Oh, that's really cool. I kind of want another one. I want like a couple of them. They look really cool, because especially when it looks so different, you know, some of the vehicles they have, you know, like an A-Wing, it pretty much looks the same whether you have it flying or landed. This one looks so different, landing versus flying. I kind of want a second one now. I want to have one like in, you know, landed mode ready to take off, and then like one flying behind it on my shelf. Oh, oh yes. Okay. Adding to my shopping list, but this looks so cool. I'm really happy with this one. It's so fun, because there isn't that much, you know, B-Wing, you know, vehicles out there. It's so unique. It doesn't get made or featured very much. Perhaps they'll give us like the Rebels one that Hera flies. That would be a fun variant version. Yeah, I'm really happy with this one. That looks really cool. I'm excited. Another fine addition to my Micro Galaxy Squadron collection, the B-Wing Starfighter. I'm so happy. This is a really great ship for my collection. I can't wait to add it to my shelf. Thank you so much for watching my B-Wing unboxing. As I said earlier, do check out our other videos and subscribe, because we will be unboxing more from Series 5, including the rare chase vehicles, which I'm very excited to get out and check those out in person myself. Thank you so much for watching. Catch you in the next video, and as always, may the Force be with you.
If you enjoyed this video, go ahead and give it a like, check out our other videos, and subscribe for alerts about new uploads. Thanks for watching, and may the Force be with you.